Hello Chrysofolcher, welcome back to the channel, old boy here, and today I'm at Hadrian's Wall because I'm going to be visiting the Temple of Mithras. And I've brought you here today because I'm going to be reading out my translation of Apollodorus' story of Deucalion and the flood. Let's get into it. Prometheus te pais Deucalion geneto. Autos basileon ton periten phtian topon, gamei puran ten Epimetheos kai Pandoras, en eplasan thioi proten gunaika. Epeide aphanisaid Zeus to halkun ethelesa genos, upothemenu Prometheus Deucalion tectenamenos larnaca, kaita epidedea en themenos, eistauten metapuras eisebe. Zeuste polun hueton apuran uheas, ta pleista mere tes helados cateclusen. Osta diaphtharenae pantas anthropus, olion horis ois sunefugon, eista plesion hupsela ore. Totede, caida cata Thessalian ore dieste, caida ectos isthmu cae Peloponnesu, sunegete panta. Deucalionde, entei larnaci, diates thalases feromenos, ephemeras enea cae nuctas tas isas, toi parnasoi prosischei. Cacei, ton ombron paulan labonton, ecbastuei di fuxioi. The child Deucalion was born of Prometheus. Deucalion, ruling over the region around Thessaly, married Pyrrha, the daughter of Epimetheus and Pandora, who was the first woman that the gods moulded. But since Zeus wished to destroy the Bronze generation, Deucalion constructed an ark under the instruction of Prometheus, and putting on board provisions into this ark, he went on board with Pyrrha. But Zeus poured out much rain from Uranos, inundating the most part of Hellas, so that every human was utterly destroyed, separated from the few who took refuge in the neighbouring lofty mountains. But then, even the mountains in Thessaly separated, and all things outside of the Isthmus and the Peloponnesus was destroyed. But Deucalion, being carried in the ark by the sea for 9 days and equal nights, landed in Parnassus, and there, the storm having taken rest, he disembarked, sacrificing to Zeus Fuxios. Okay, so just some linguistic analysis. First up, let's look at the names Prometheus and Epimetheus. As you can see, the LSJ entry for Prometheus lists his name as forethought, in opposition to Epimetheus, which is listed as afterthought. And another interesting observation is that Roman numeral number 3 lists the word as the Pythagoreans' name for unity or the number 9. Then if we look at the word Prometheus, from which Prometheus is derived, the LSJ tells us it means forethinking or provident. Next up we have Pyrrha, which seems to be a feminine derivative of Pyrrhos, which the LSJ says means flame-coloured or yellowish red. Entry number 2 is interesting, seeing it is used especially of persons with red hair, and we get an example here which says Toskuthikon genos, or the Scythian race. As a side note, some sources say that the son of Achilles also had the name Pyrrhos at birth, and Alcaeus, writing during the late 600s BC, calls Achilles King of Scythia. Okay, now if we take a look at Roman numeral number 2, it seems like the word Pyrrhos originally had the digamma, as we can see some examples here which feature it, for example Pyrrhos and Pyrrhias. Next we have Pandora, which seems to be a compound of pan, all, and Dora, gifts. And if you look at the LSJ, the first entry says it is an epithet of the earth, meaning giver of all. Entry number 2 tells us it means all endowed, i.e. by the gods. And if we look at the middle little, it says Pandora, a beautiful female made by Hephaestus, who received presents from all the gods. Now this is really interesting, as the text says she was the first woman to be formed or moulded by the gods. And like how Prometheus formed or moulded mankind, the word being used is eplasan, an aorist form of plasso, which, as we saw in the last episode, also means to mould or form by education. So the fact that Pandora receives these gifts, becoming all endowed, shows, in my opinion, that this is indeed the context being used in the text. Next, I just want to look at the part of the text which relates to Zeus wishing to destroy the bronze generation. In the text, the term being used is halkoon genos, and the LSJ tells us halkoon means bronze, and genos can mean race, stock, or kin. And if you look at entry number 2, it can also mean age or generation. And I thought this was quite interesting, as it seemingly puts a date to the event as occurring sometime around the Bronze Age. Next, I want to look at the word for ark, which in the text is larnaca, from larnax. And you can see here in the LSJ that its definition is a coffer, box or chest, as well as showing its use for the ark of Deucalion. Now, even though the similarities between this text and the biblical flood, the word being used here is in fact different. In the Septuagint, the word being used to describe the Ark of Noah is kibotos. However, the definition of this word in the LSJ is the same, meaning box, chest or coffer, and this word is also used to describe the Ark of Moses. Finally, I just want to look at the section where Deucalion sacrifices to Zeus Fuxios in the aftermath of the flood. And as you can see here, the LSJ tells us that Fuxios is an epithet of Zeus and means putting to flight, and the term can also mean of banishment. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed that. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I just want to say a huge thank you for everyone who continues to support me and this channel. It's much appreciated, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Old boy, out.